This is an incident that happened last year on the 5th of May, on the May bank holiday. Jack Tweed, now Jade Goody's husband, then her boyfriend, was leaving a club in Epping in Essex, not far from Jade's home in Essex, and they got into a taxi. That taxi was driven by a man called Stephen Wilkins. He asked for the fare for the taxi up front. He said that that was their company policy, but in the middle of the journey, when he was asking for that fare from Jack Tweed and his 3 other friends that were in the taxi, Jack Tweed and his friends refused to pay it, and the taxi driver said that's when Jack Tweed started to become aggressive. He was swearing at him and he started to punch the back of his seat. And at one point, when they were travelling, the taxi driver, Mr. Wilkins, estimates at around 50 miles an hour, the taxi did a half turn in the middle of the road, and as he pointed out, nothing, fortunately, was on the road at the time, otherwise the incident could have been far more serious. Now, Jack Tweed, during questioning by police, said that he had had too much alcohol. He was too drunk to remember what had gone on, but he said that he would never have assaulted a taxi driver. And a friend of his who was in the taxi at the time said that, yes, Mr. Tweed was not happy with the request to pay the taxi fare up front, but it never went any further than that, and he didn't abuse or indeed assault the taxi driver. Well, the judge at Epping Magistrates Court today disagreed with Mr. Tweed's version of events. He sided with Stephen Wilkins, the taxi driver, and has found Jack Tweed guilty of common assault.
And of course, in the run-up to the trial, he's been tagged and subject to curfew conditions, but those were relaxed because of Jade Goody's condition by the Justice Secretary, Jack Straw.
That's right. Jack Tweed's recently been serving another sentence, again for assault, a completely unrelated incident, and he was let out on licence conditions, and those conditions included, as you say, that he was tagged, and also that he had to obey a curfew, which means he has to be back at his mother's house, also in Essex, by 7 o'clock each evening. But on the day and the night of his wedding to Jade Goody, which was last Sunday, the 22nd of February, the Ministry of Justice, Jack Straw, allowed those conditions to be waived for the evening so he could spend his wedding night with his new bride, although he had to return back to his mother's house by 3 p.m. the following afternoon. This verdict is, of course, another sorry and sad twist in this story involving Jade Goody. She, of course, is critically ill in the hospital behind me, and she only has weeks, barely a month, to live.